welcome to Nutritious Delicious. I'm Dr. Holly.
And I'm Rebecca. And this is Rowan. Today we're making homemade low-carb granola. And it's so easy that you can do even if you don't have another hand. All
right, so we're starting off with a bowl of already mixed sprouted walnuts, almonds, and buckwheat. We sprouted them overnight in the fridge.
It takes about 8 hours minimum to really release those nutrients, and you really want to drain it well after you've sprouted them because the buckwheat especially gets quite slimy.
Yeah.
So rinse a couple times and then drain.
Throw that water out. Just a note about buckwheat, it's gluten-free. It sounds like it's made with wheat, but it's not. Actually, it's not even a grain. Actually, it's related to the rhubarb and sorrel plants. So,
bizarre. But
it
does go into the gluten-free category. It is high in carbohydrate, so just be aware if you like a lot of carbs and your body tolerates them well, you can use more in the recipe. If you don't, then just use a little bit, and you want to buy it in raw form at the store, not toasted.
Right, exactly. So in here we have about half a cup of walnuts, half a cup, we used slivered almonds today, you could also use whole almonds, and then a quarter cup of the sprouted buckwheat as well. So we've been melting about a tablespoon of coconut oil melted on low heat. So we're going to first pour that over our yummy mixture here.
And it's the Artisana, which is a more local brand of raw organic unrefined coconut oil. If you get it unrefined, it has a much richer coconut flavor, so it's tastier.
Yeah, it's really, really great. And then just add a generous dose of cinnamon here. So
if you like cinnamon, which we both really do, add a generous dose of cinnamon. If you don't like cinnamon, there's a number of other spices that you can use. You can use coriander, you can use ginger, which is really tasty, nutmeg, cardamom. Those are all really tasty in this recipe. And vanilla, which is absolutely wonderful and gives it a sweet flavor. So we're using a little maple syrup as well, but you can use stevia, which will not cause an insulin reaction. We only use a very, very small amount just to bring out the flavor, but if you don't want to use it, you don't have to.
Yeah, it's great. This granola is so much less sweet than any granola that you can find, even the really great natural brands out there,
which are quite expensive.
So much sugar. Yeah, and there's honey and agave just out the wazoo.
Yeah, so they have a lot. Another thing that I wanted to mention in this video is that we're going to be putting this low-carb granola over a protein source, and you can select what you like. We have a full-fat cottage cheese that we're going to use today, but you can also use a full-fat ricotta cheese. Always use organic because toxins accumulate in fat, both in us and animals, so you definitely want to make sure to invest your organic dollar wisely. And there's a substantial amount of protein in both cottage cheese and ricotta cheese, so that's good. If you wanted a little less protein and a little more carb, you could use a plain yogurt, and that would work better for you. Yeah,
and I think another way that you could increase the protein in the nut mix here is to add pumpkin seeds or peanuts, which are higher in protein than any other nuts. So
absolutely. Yeah, that's a misnomer. A lot of people think that nuts are very high in protein, and they're not. They're high in really good healthy fats, but they don't have a whole lot of protein. They're 2 to 3 times higher in fat than in protein. Smells good. She's going for it.
So we're just going to pop this in the oven. I just like to heat it on just a very low temperature, about 200 degrees for about half an hour. So I check it after 15 minutes and give it a little shake. You don't want to cook it too hot because it'll make the oils in the nuts damaged.
And we don't like damaged fats.
We don't like that. So we want to preserve the great omega-3 oils that are in these walnuts. So we're going to put this in the oven now.
So 200 degrees for about 30 minutes. And we actually have already prepared, to save time for the video, a wonderful batch. And we had it cooling for a couple minutes. And now we're ready to assemble a taste test. And actually I'm going to switch spots with you, Holly, so that I can talk a little bit about the gelatin that I set out. So what I like to do, gelatin can be a really great way to add extra protein, but also because it's broken down from animal bones, it's got all sorts of really, really wonderful nutrients for your joints and your bones, your skin, your hair, and your nails. Things like glycosaminoglycans, which are so important for collagen formation and the health of all of those body parts I mentioned. So if you goop it on there, it will get jello-y and goopy. It doesn't have a flavor, but the texture is going to be not so wonderful. So sprinkle it lightly and work with it for a few times and you'll find the optimal amount for you. But that's just something you can do, not necessarily something you have to do. But I like to do that.
Yep.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So Mommy gets to test this. This looks really good.
Good stuff.
The vanilla and the cinnamon complement each other really, really nicely. That's delicious. And what an easy breakfast. If you're in a hurry, you can just grab that and go.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention, but you don't even have to put this mixture in the oven. You can eat it raw, and it's actually really tasty, but on colder days, it's nice to have it hot. So
for sure.
Yeah.
So that's all. You can see how easy this was. So homemade low-carb granola. Give it a try. Thanks so much.
Thanks for joining us. See you next time.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.